lovely colouring friends, my name is Amanda and this is my channel Amanda Colours. I am super excited about today's video. It is the very first in a 3-part series, or at least to begin with it will be a 3-part series, of basics of colour theory. So I've had a number of requests asking me to go through some colour theory in videos, so I am finally in a position to be able to do that. I have over 6 years of design study under my belt, as well as over 15 years of working as a graphic designer. Colour is just a love of mine. It is something that I love to learn about. It is something that I love to talk about. So I feel like I am in a good position to talk about colour theory. I don't know. I find that colour just fills my soul and lights my fire, and it's one of the reasons why I like to colour in and colour in books and all that sort of thing. But yeah, I have a bunch of notes, so I will be referring to those. So if it sounds like I'm reading a little bit, it's because I probably am, because I don't want to miss things, and I also just want to make sure that I am making sense and not jumping around everywhere. So let's just get started. So, what is colour theory? So colour theory is both the science and the art of using colour. It explains how we as humans perceive colour and the visual effects of how colours mix, match, or contrast with each other. Colour theory also involves the messages colours communicate and the methods used to replicate colour. In colour theory, colours are organised on a colour wheel and grouped into 3 categories: primary colours, secondary colours, and tertiary colours, but we'll talk about that more later. Maybe you're wondering why you should even care about colour theory. Well, as a colourist, having a basic understanding of colour theory is like having an invaluable tool in your creative toolkit. It will allow you to choose colours from your pages with colours for your pages with confidence, and when used correctly can take your colouring pages to a whole new level of beauty. So, to understand colour, we need to understand that colour is perception. It's something that our eyes see, like the sky, for example. And data sent from our eyes to our brains tell us that it's a certain colour. So, our eyes tell us that the sky is blue. Objects reflect light in different combinations of wavelengths. Our brains pick up on those wavelength combinations and translate them into the phenomenon we call colour. Using colour in certain combinations create different moods and can evoke different time periods and emotions. There are a number of ways in which colour can be made up. The additive method and the subtractive method are the most common. So the first is the additive colour method. And as humans, we see colour in light waves. Mixing light, or the additive colour mixing model, allows you to create colours by mixing red, green, and blue light sources in various intensities. The more light you add, the brighter the mix becomes. And if you mix all the 3 colours together, you get white, pure white light. TVs, screens, projectors, and other digital devices use the RGB or additive colour method as their primary colours. And then they mix them together to create all the other colours in different combinations. The subtractive colour method is colour that we see on any physical surface such as paper, signage, packaging, and most people are familiar with this model because it's what we learned in kindergarten when mixing paints. And in this case, subtractive simply refers to the fact that you subtract the light from the paper by adding more colour. Traditionally, the primary colours used in subtractive processes were red, yellow and blue, as these were the colours painters mixed to get all hues. As colour printing emerged, they were subsequently replaced with cyan, magenta and yellow. And then black is represented as K because it is the key colour. As this colour combination enables printers to produce a wider variety of colours. Coloured pencil sets that we use often have a combination of both red, blue and yellow pencils and cyan, magenta, yellow and black pencils. As a colorist, you will be using the subtractive colour method the most because you will be adding colour to the page and subtracting light from the page. Sounds a bit confusing, but basically this is the model that we use the most. So the colour wheel. I have a representation of the colour wheel here. This can be shown in lots of different ways. I think this one explains things quite well. I do also have this one that you can spin and get different tones, shades, combinations, things like that. We can talk about that later, but I think this one to begin with is going to be the easiest to understand. So the colour wheel, based on red, yellow and blue, which we have here in the centre, is traditional in the field of art, and it was actually developed by Sir Isaac Newton back in 1666. Since then, scientists and artists have studied and designed numerous versions, as I was saying before. I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, the best part about going back to school was always going school supply shopping, and I used to love getting new coloured pencils, new crayons, all that sort of thing. And having the 64 pristine box of Crayola pencils just kind of opened my imagination to endless possibilities. Understanding the colour wheel and colour harmonies, what works and what doesn't, and how colour communicates is just as exciting as that box of colours, of coloured pencils. Trust me, it actually really is once you start to understand it. Being able to understand the terms and processes that go along with the colour will help you knowledgeably, that's hard to say, communicate your creative vision onto the paper. So, the colour wheel. It consists of 3 primary colours, 3 secondary colours, and 6 tertiary colours. So think 1, 2, 3. So if you draw a line through the centre of a colour wheel, you have your cool colours and your warm colours. So the primary colours, red, yellow and blue. These are the primary colours because they can't be mixed or formed by combining any other colours. So they are pure colour, they are pure pigment, they're not a combination of any other pigments. The secondary colours, which we have on this second layer out, are green, orange and purple, and they are made by mixing 2 of the primary colours together. For example, you would mix yellow and red to get orange, red and blue to get purple, yellow and blue to get green. And then the tertiary colours are all of these on the outside. So we have yellow orange, red orange, red purple, blue green, and yellow green. And as you can see, they also have hues in between. I should have stuck this down to the table. So they are different combinations of the tertiary colours with the primary colours. So to get the red orange, it's orange with more red in it. Or to get blue purple, it's purple with more blue in it. I hope this is making sense. So the next part that I'm going to cover today is hue, shade, tint, and tone. So I'm going to use this one here to explain this. Okay, so if we go back to the 64 pack of crayons from our first day of school, how do we go from the 12 colours on the colour wheel to 64 colours? Well, that's where tints, shades, and tones come in. Simply put, tints, tones, and shades are variations of hues, which is the pure colour on the colour wheel. So if we bring this down here, you can see that here on the outside is the pure colour. So if we go for red, that's our pure colour. And then, so our pure colour's on the outside. Let's go here. So for red violet, no, let's bring it around here. Sorry. So red is our pure tone. Our pure hue. And then if we talk about tones, that is where we're adding some grey to the colour, which is here. And then shades is where we are adding black to the colour. So they're getting darker. So I just think of shades as like if you're sitting under a tree in the shade, it's darker. So shades are darker. Tones are in the middle. So we talk about mid-tones. So that is where we're adding grey. And then if we turn this over here to the red again, these are our tints. So that's where we are adding white to a colour. So for tints, if we add red and white, we get pink. If we add, for a shade, if we add the black, we start to get more burgundy tones. And so tones is where we add black and white, so grey, and they're our mid-tones. So in order to help, that's kind of like all the information that I have to give you today, because it's a lot to kind of start to get your head around. So what I have done is I have actually created a couple of little free worksheets if you're interested in completing them and learning some more. So there's some, we have the colour wheel here, and you can go through and label the colours. Then down here I have a breakdown of, you can colour in what the primary colours are, what the secondary colours are, and what the tertiary colours are, and there's a little description here. And then there's another page here where you can get out your colouring pencils and work out what tints and tones are. So you can do your pure colour here. I've done blue, red, yellow, purple, orange, green. And then you can find a tint of the blue, a tone of the blue, and a shade of the blue. These are available to download via the link in the description. And of course, if you have any questions, I will be going through this more. As I said, there are 3 videos that I will be doing around colour theory, and that's just a start. If we feel we want in-depth even more, I can do more. But I think this is a good basis to start understanding the colour wheel, and to start understanding primary colours, secondary colours, tertiary colours, and then the hue, tint, tone and shades. But yes, if you do have any questions, put them in the comments below and I will answer them for you. Also, if there's anything specifically about colour that you would like to know, or like me to do a video on, feel free to go ahead and leave that in the comments as well, and I can add that into future videos. I hope that this has been helpful and is a good start towards understanding colour. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help my channel. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you are notified when more of my colour theory videos and my other videos are released and you'll never miss a thing. So thank you so much for being here with me today. As I said, I really do hope that this is helpful, yeah, I will see you in the next video. Bye.